How's it going, everyone? We're back with another weekly watch list. So this is going to be my watch list for this upcoming week in the stock market: NQ, QQQ, SPY, ES, and then some equities as well: Apple, Nvidia, AMD, Google, and Amazon. So thank you so much for clicking on the video. If you do enjoy trading stock market as much as I do, please consider dropping a like, commenting on the video. Let me know what you think. And without further ado, let's hop right into the watch list. Oh, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new. So next week I will not be doing a watch list. I'll be on vacation, and that vacation actually does start this week as well. So I will only be trading Monday and Tuesday, and then I will be off until the 20th, right? Monday the 20th. So let's get into the watch list. So kicking things off with NQ, we have our previous day high, previous day low, pretty big range here. So I'm going to be watching this level, very key level as well, this FOMC low and 30,000. Definitely have a bit more of a bullish bias if we reclaim this level for a move up to the previous day high. If we stay under 30,000 FOMC low, I'll have a little bit more of a bearish bias, watching for that move down to the PDL. Okay. Obviously, if we break these ranges, my next levels below will be 29,174 to 29,000. And then for upside, if we get over the previous day high, I'll be watching for a move up to 30,602, but then up to 31,000, and this high at 30,974. Let's go over to QQQ. So QQQ, same range, just a little bit bigger, right? It's a $5 range, which typically for me, like, I don't like having ranges that big, but it's been such a pivotal zone, I am keeping it on there. So that zone from 720 to 725, this is going to be like a direction area for me, right? Same thing, we have that FOMC low. Okay, we have this major high. If we reclaim this FOMC low, I like longs up to that major high, 725, and then the previous day high. If we come up here and reject this area, then I'll be looking for a move back down to the PDL and the daily 50 at 702 to 705. Looks like we also have some 4-hour supply here in this zone as well at 721 up to 724. So we'll see if we get a reaction there. I'll go back to NQ real quick just to see if we can look at that. So it is on NQ as well. Yes, I already have that marked. That looks like we did start to reject that area as well. So we'll see if this causes a move back down. We'll see where the futures open up tonight. Let's go over to ES. So ES here on the 4-hour chart. I'll actually bring that down to the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour chart, looks like we're already over this, so I can get rid of that. Previous day high, previous day low, watching inside of this range first. If we break below the previous day low and the FOMC low and this pivot, right, from here, from last 2 weeks ago, Friday, low, I'll be watching downside to 7409, 7400. For upside, I'd like to see us break over the previous day high, which is also this major high here as well at 7600. This has been a nice area of resistance many times. Reject, bull trap, reject, reject. If we get over that, my next zone up is at 7636 to 7648. So let me just go ahead and drag. Actually, not drag. It always messes it up when I do that. Expand this over to this week. And then, of course, above that zone is the all-time high. So that's going to be ES. Let's go over to SPY. SPY, previous day high, previous day low. Looking inside of this range first, I'd like to see it break, okay? Unless we get some pre-market highs and lows to play in here, like break below pre-market low, down to previous day high, over pre-market high to previous day high. But I'd much prefer a range break. So over previous day high, 751, 752, I'll be looking for a move back up to 755 to 756. And for downside, simply put, looking at a break and retest underneath the PDL down to my next zone at 732. We do have this pivot high here as well that I'll watch. Again, when I have levels like this on the chart that are this very faint gray, they're still key levels. They're just not as strong as maybe major highs, major lows, previous day high, previous day lows, right? As you can see, there was a lot of resistance in this area at 736. Flipped to support a bit here on last Monday, so maybe it holds up as well. It's just something I'm watching. Maybe I'm in a short position under the PDL. This will be my first target before I move down to 732, okay? So let's go over to some individual equities. Apple, unreal. Crazy move this past 2 weeks. Honestly, the short was awesome. Caught this bear flag break and 200% on puts there last week or 2 weeks ago. So that was awesome. Unfortunately, the leap that I had, long leap that I had, that I did cut for like 2%, basically break even, because this played out. Like it was when we started rejecting this 302 and made this bear flag, I cut the leap, long leap. I went short, caught that nice move. We did seemingly bounce at 61, just didn't really get really strong confirmation on the daily, just very small wick here, and just what a ripper back up. So those long leaps would be, there were 300 calls for January. They'd obviously be $10 in the money at this point. That would be great, but nonetheless, I'm still looking to add that leap back. And the first area I'm looking at that is at 302 on the daily here. Look at these multiple rejections, rejection, 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 rejection. Multiple times on the 4 hour, this area held, right, for shorts. So I'm looking for a retest 300 to 302. If we can pull back into there, even down to 296, that's 4 hour demand, this is where I will re-enter my long leap, okay? So that's will be my game plan for Apple, okay? As far as day trading goes, let's look for a move over the previous day high up to 317, all right? Let's go over to AMD. I have not traded AMD in months because the contracts are just ridiculously expensive. So there's really not much for me to say there as far as levels go. I'm just previous day high, previous day low. You know, that's really all I can say on AMD. Like I said, I can't day trade. The contracts are ridiculous. You try to trade the same day contracts, they're like $1,400 a piece. That's just ridiculous. So I'm not going to trade AMD until that changes. But as far as levels go, downside underneath 495 to 472, upside over the previous day high to 562 and 584. All right. Nvidia, you know, same thing. It's just been really lackluster for day trading. It's just been really crap. So I'm not really interested on day trades on Nvidia, especially this range we've recently been in. I'm really not interested in Nvidia unless we're over 212, and then I'll look at longs, right? As far as like pullback longs go and downside, we did have this gap fill down at 189 that we did just fill. So if this holds, I'll actually look at, you know, leap longs again for Nvidia. So we'll see. Caught a nice move here on some swings on Nvidia back in May. That was for 172%, I think, or 192, something like that. But as you can see, since then we had bear flag, broke the bear flagging again right now. We'll see what happens. But Nvidia, it's been really dead to me, honestly. So let's go over to Google and Amazon. These are interesting. Okay, Google. I do have a long. I don't have a leap on. I have a swing trade on for September calls. So they're down about 38% right now. As you can see, the green area here is where I entered them. Stop loss was if we did break below the, where is it? This like weekly high. So this weekly high zone down to like 337. So since we wicked it on the weekly, I kept my position. I was down about 55, 60% here on that. Usually more than I'd like to see on a swing. 50% is usually my max there. But because of the price action, the higher volume, I did keep it. I believe it was because of the monthly close as well. So yeah, this monthly candle, that's what kept me in the position. So we're still in drawdown. We'll see what happens. I really need to get it back over 380 to have any sort of like forward momentum. However, Google has looked strong, you know, so we'll see. First area is this major low. We got to get back over it though. This major low right here on Google, this 365, we're rejecting it right now. We get over that, I absolutely think it's very fair to think that we get back up to, you know, 380 to 400 even, okay, right? Back up to this supply up here. So as far as day trading goes, previous day high, previous day low, underneath the previous day low, I'll look at puts down to 350. Not my favorite though, as you can see, these are very close. There's a lot of support down here. So honestly, like, as you can see though, we did have this straight up move here from 339. So if Google wants to be weak, you know, hopefully not, and we break below this 350, then, you know, it looks like we could give back this straight up move here. Hopefully it stays strong, and over the previous day high, we can look for a move up to 369, 372, and so on. Amazon, also a key spot, daily 200. Okay, we bounced that. We swept below it as well. If we continue to hold the daily 200, then I definitely like continued upside on this. This would definitely be an area to watch for a leap as well. I just haven't pulled the trigger. I do have one going for June of next year, which I've had for a while, but I could look to add to it. It's been pretty tight the last few days, so obviously I'll look for a range break over the previous day high up to 249, 250, and I'll watch downside, which looks pretty clean underneath 240 to 234. All right, so that's going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I will see you in 2 weeks, okay, July 20th. If you do enjoy the videos, please consider dropping a like, a comment, and subscribing to the channel. It would mean the absolute world to me, and I'll see you all in the next watch list in 2 weeks. Peace, everyone. Have a great week inside and outside of the market, and I'll see you in the next one.